Hello, welcome to another episode of The Guido Goes Off. As many people know, this week the owners of all 32 NFL teams met up in Boca Raton, Florida to play golf, pat each other on the back for being masters of the universe, and vote on rule changes. In some of these cases, a couple of these cases, these are experimental rules. Some are solidifying things, and of course, it's all in the interest of player safety and providing a more enjoyable experience for fans. So, 8 rules have gone on board. I'll go ahead and start with the permanent ones and then go to the ones that are experimental. They're on a 1-year trial basis. Okay, starting. Rule number 1. All chop blocks are now illegal. Apparently there were certain types of chop blocks that were illegal. That is, for those of you who don't know, any block at or below on the any block on the lower leg. So, chop block is a block at the knee, block at the ankle, anything where there's contact at or below the knee. It's due to a lot of lower leg injuries, ACLs, ankle, fractured, fibular fractures. There's been a lot of that running around. I don't blame them for making this rule. Now, this doesn't hamper cut blocks, which a cut block is more at the waist. So, all chop blocks, all forms of them, are illegal. Number 2, the horse collar tackle. Prior to this revision, a horse collar tackle was when a player reaches into the jersey at or around the neck and grabs the pads, using that to bring a player down. That has been illegal for the longest time. This year they're expanding on it. According to this, the horse collar tackle will now include the jersey itself at or above the nameplate. As you can see, I got my personalized jersey here. So, anywhere starting from here up, if you grab the jersey and bring somebody down with that, that's going to be flagged as a horse collar tackle. Okay, break that over there. Okay, the number 3 permanent rule. Okay, player goes out of bounds and reestablishes themselves inbounds, touches the ball in a pass play. Prior to the rule change, that was a 5-yard penalty for illegal procedure. They will now simply make that a loss of, rule it as an incomplete pass, and make it a loss of down. So instead of, let's say it's 3rd and 10, they make the pass, guy steps out of bounds, gets back inbounds, catches the ball. It will no longer be 3rd and 15, it will be 4th and 10. If I have to explain downs, we could be here a while. Okay. The number 4 rule change. Coach to player communication will is now expanded to include booth coaches. Now, originally, for those who don't know, and I'm sure there's got to be a lot of people that do, coaches wear headsets. Okay? Those headsets, not only so they can communicate with each other and communicate with the coaches in the booth, players on offense and defense, notably the quarterback and usually one of the inner linebackers, the guy who's quarterback for the defense, basically, has an earpiece in their helmet. Prior to this change, the coaches in the booth couldn't communicate directly with the players. It had to be relayed through a coach on the field. Normally, the offensive and defensive coordinators are in the booth so that they have that bird's eye view. But now those coaches that are in the booth can communicate directly with the players on the field. My guess is to speed the game along. I'm all for that. I think that, why can't they? That's what I've always wanted. Like, why can't they? Ooh, because we're so. Oh, they're changing their minds. Okay, the fifth rule change. Last season, they experimented with the PAT line of scrimmage being the 15-yard line. Meaning, it used to be that if you went for the point after kick, the extra point, it was placed at the 2-yard line. Well, this last season, they experimented with putting it back at the 15-yard line, making it if you factor in everything, around a 30-yard field, a 30-yard attempt if you're doing the extra point. If you were going to do a run or pass play, or going for two, as it's known, that would be still at the 2-yard line. Well, they've made that permanent now. So forever and ever until they decide otherwise, it will be at the 15-yard line. The sixth permanent rule change. Teams will be called for a delay of game penalty if they call a timeout when they are not allowed. Being things like you're at timeouts, you have an injured player. My guess is this is when you're out of timeouts. There has been like a grace timeout in the past, but now they're officially making this so no, you do not get a timeout. You get a delay of game. You're going back 5 yards. Now for the experimental rules. There's 2 of these that are going in this year. I agree with one. One I think is kind of stupid. The one I think is kind of stupid, the first one I'll talk about, is the line of scrimmage after a touchback via kickoff or punt return has now been moved from the 20-yard line to the 25-yard line. Why? That's my only question. Why? I mean, I'm guessing it's because they want, they're going to say this, oh, it's in the interest of player safety, okay, I got it when they moved the kickoff up. But why do they have to give the offense, when they receive the ball, an extra 5 yards? I don't get it. I simply, maybe it's me, but it's like they're trying to make sure you're not allowed to have defense in games anymore. The second one-year trial that I completely agree with, and I think this is one of the biggest rule changes that they've made this year. If a player is flagged twice for unsportsmanlike conduct, they are ejected from the game. I am all for that. There's players that get this reputation to be bad boys. I can understand that. But when you're out there playing without regard for your fellow competitors, you don't deserve to be on that field, and I think you should be gone. So if someone gets 2 flags for unsportsmanlike conduct, which covers a wide field, anything from taunting, late hits, all that, they're gone. I agree with that. I concur wholeheartedly. That should be the case. If you're out there trying to harm your fellow competitors, you do not deserve to be on that field. You do not deserve to be a professional football player. So now that those are the rules that have changed, I still have one big problem. My big problem is last year there was a huge problem defining what is and is not a football move in regards to a catch. It's always been kind of hinted at that a football move is when they have the ball They have to make at least 2 steps for forward progress. I mean, yes, we have the general definition. That both feet inbounds, maintain possession throughout the action. But then there's that quote-unquote mysterious football move that everybody talks about. How come that never got addressed, never got discussed? Why do we not have clarity there? Because you've had because every referee has been allowed interpretation as to what is and is not a catch. So personally, I think a little more clarity, at least as far as that's concerned, should be out there. So anyway, those are the new changes that we as NFL fans are going to have to deal with. What other changes do you think they should have made, or what changes they made that you don't think they should have? Let me know in the comments section. And once again, thank you for watching. You all have a good day. I think we're done here.